Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, January 30th, 2023. Today we're going to recap college basketball, NBA, and NHL from yesterday, look ahead to today's games in each sport, then we'll do soccer, a future for the portfolio, news and notes, and best bets. So a short show today. We'll start with college basketball. We'll go over everything, look ahead to tonight's games. Yesterday wasn't that big of a slate, as you know. Number 7 Duke over Virginia Tech, 77-67. Holy Cross over BU, 65-63. NC Central over Delaware State, 69-66. Norfolk State over Morgan State, 83-73. Howard over Coppin State, 81-66. SC State over Maryland Eastern, 63-53. Florida A&M over Jackson State, 88-86. Lamar over New Orleans, 98-73. A&M Commerce over A&M Corpus Christi over A&M Commerce, 69-64. McNeese over Northwestern State, 89-65. Southeast Louisiana over Houston Christian, 80-58. Arkansas Pine Bluff over Grambling, 86-70. Southern over Miss Valley State, 78-54. Texas Southern over Alabama State, 56-55. Number 4 Houston over Texas, 76-72 in overtime. Prairie View over Alabama A&M, 87-76. Alcorn State over Bethune, 70-67. All right, tonight's game, 6:30, SEC Network, South Carolina, and number 5 Tennessee. I did not do total, so I'm sorry about that. I have Tennessee 6.6 as my line, and it is Tennessee 14.5 totals, 135.5. I'm taking South Carolina. South Carolina only has 3 losses all season. Show that team some damn respect. I'm taking the Gamecock plus the points. 7 o'clock on ESPN, number 3 North Carolina and Georgia Tech. My line is North Carolina 5.3, and it's 8.5, 152.5. I'll take Georgia Tech to cover. Maybe Carolina speaking at the Duke. Fox Sports 1, number 9 Marquette, Villanova. My line is Marquette 1.7, and it is Villanova 1 half total 143.5. Oh my God! This isn't Jay Wright's Villanova, guys. I'm taking Marquette. Why are they freaking underdogs? They're better than Villanova. Granted, Villanova has to win this game. Peacock, number 14, Illinois and Ohio State. My line is Illinois by 2, and it is 2.5 and 148.5. I like the over. Number 15, Texas Tech, number 25, TCU on ESPN2. My line is TCU 2.25, and we have 5.5 and 147. I'll take Texas Tech in the points. I'm surprised that TCU is giving that much. George Washington, number 21, Dayton. My line is Dayton 8.75. And it's 12.5 and 146. I'll take George Washington plus the points. Boys, that portfolio pick looking really bad. I put the kibosh on that team. ACC Network, Syracuse, BC. My line's a pick'em. And it's Boston College 3.5 total 149.5. I'll take Syracuse plus the points. Iowa, Indiana, Big Ten Network. My line's Indiana 4.3. It's Iowa 1 half total 165. I'm taking Indiana plus the points, plus 102 outright. They're home. CBS Sports Network, VCU, St. Bonaventure. Mine's Bonaventure 1 point. Now, I actually like this slate tonight. So it's going to be fun. 3.5 and 138.5. I like the over. That's a little low. Northern Illinois and Central Michigan. My line is Central 3.4, and it's 3.5 total 144.5. I'll take the over. Buffalo, Ohio. My line's Ohio 12.25, and it's 14.5 in total 149. I'll take Buffalo to cover because that's a big line. Bowling Green, Ball State. My line is Bowling Green by 3/4, and it is 1.5 and 149.5. I like the over in that game too. Akron, Eastern Michigan. My line's Akron 7.7, and it's 11.5, 137. I'll take Eastern to cover. Miami of Ohio, Kent State. My line is Kent by 4. And it's 7.5 and 143.5. I'll take Miami of Ohio to cover. Western Michigan, Toledo. My line is Toledo 9.75. And it's 11.5 and 156.5. I'm going to take the under. I think that's high. 8 o'clock, number 23, Oklahoma, Kansas State. My line's Kansas State 4.7. And it's 2.5 and 139.5. I love Kansas State. Love them. But yeah, Kansas State is the Vegas nose. I adore it. I love when I have an edge on the Vegas nose line. Illinois State, Murray State. My line is Murray State 3.5, and it's 7.5, 1.33. I'll take Illinois State in the point. That's way too high. St. Louis, Loyola, Chicago. My line's Loyola, Chicago 8.7, and it's 9.5, 147.5. I'll take the under. That's high for Loyola, Chicago. 8:30, SEC Network. Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Egg Bowl. My line is Ole Miss 4.7, and it's 1.5, 139.5. I love Ole Miss minus the points. Love it. Southeast Missouri State, Lindenwood. My line's Lindenwood 1.8, and it's 2.5, 149.5. I'll take the over. 9 o'clock, ESPN, Oklahoma State at number 8, Kansas. Mine's Kansas 12.7. It's 15.5, 144.5. I'll take Oklahoma State to cover. Maybe it's a backdoor situation. They hit a 3, and they kill some bettors. San Jose State and number 17, Utah State. Utah State 12.2, and it is 12.5, 148.5. I'll take the over. San Diego State and Colorado State on CBS Sports Network. My line is Colorado State by a 5th. And it's 2.5 and 145.5. I'll take San Diego State to cover. ACC Network, Louisville, Clemson. Mine's Clemson 12.6. And it's 15.5 and 150.5. I'll take Louisville to cover. That's high. Miami, NC State on ESPN2. My line is Miami by 7/10. And it's NC State 3.5 total 154.5. I'll take Miami to cover. Battle of disappointing teams from the same state in the Big Ten. Michigan State. Mine's Michigan State 11.3. And it's 11.5 and 144.5. I'll take the over. Fox Sports 1, Seton Hall, DePaul. My line is Seton Hall 8.1. And it is 10.5. Total is 138.5. I'll take DePaul to cover. Maybe Seton Hall's looking ahead a little bit. Next up is Wyoming Air Force. My line is Air Force as a 1.5 or 1.2 underdog, and they're favored by 3.5. Total's 136.5. I'll take Wyoming in the points, and plus 138 outright. I don't know why they're a dog. 11 o'clock, Fresno, UNLV. My line is UNLV 5.6, and it's 8.5 and 140.5. I'll take Fresno to cover. And last but not least, on ESPN, Loyola Marymount, Gonzaga. Gonzaga's in must-win territory because if they suffer any more bad losses in conference play, they might not make the tournament. My line is Gonzaga 9.75, and it's 15.5 and 152.5. I'll take Marymount to cover and hang around in this game. Now we move on to the NBA. We will go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to a 5-game slate for tonight. Knicks over the Hornets 113-92. And Julius Randle and OG Anunoby did not play. Cavs over the Clippers 118-108. Celtics over the Pelicans 118-112. Nets over the Jazz 147-114. Suns over the Heat 118-105. Rockets over the Lakers 135-119. Kings over the Grizz 103-94. T-Wolves over the Thunder 107-101. Wiz over the Spurs 118-113. Mavs over the Magic 131-129. So best bet wins with the Magic cover. Nuggets over the Bucks 113-107. The Blazers over the Sixers 130-104. No Embiid in that game. And I don't think Maxey played either. Let's see. No. Neither of them played. All right, 7:30 tonight, you have the Lakers and the Hawks. My line is Lakers by 2, total 238 and 7:20. I mean, I saw the line earlier. I think the Hawks were favored, and they are by 5, total 248. That's a referendum on that they think that LeBron or AD might miss the game. So I have a 7-point edge on the Lakers, but I have a larger edge on the under, so I'm going to take the under. That's too high, especially if one of those guys don't play. TNT tonight, Pacers, Celtics. Mine's Celtics by 11 and a quarter, so 239 in the 10th. And it's 7 at 245. I'm going to take the under, too. There's a possibility Halliburton doesn't play. Jazz Knicks from the Garden. Looks like OG Anunoby's back for this one. My line is Knicks 4 3/4, so 231 in the fifth, and then it's 4.5 and 229. A rare over that I like in this game. Rare over. 8 o'clock Raptors Bulls. My line is Bulls 4.5 total 227 in the fifth, and it's 6 and 227.5. Slight lean Raptors to cover. Then 10 o'clock on TNT, Sixers Warriors. We'll see about Embiid. If they both play, Embiid and Maxey, I have Sixers by 1 1/4. If Embiid doesn't play, it's Golden State 6 3/4. If Embiid and Maxey don't play, it's going to be 10 3/4. And if Embiid plays, or I'm sorry, if Embiid plays but Maxey doesn't, it's Warriors 2 3/4. So right now the line is Golden State by 3.5 total 235.5. So they're trying to, maybe they think Embiid's playing but Maxey's not. Total's 235.5, but I'll take the Sixers getting the points. This line was at 4.5 last night. Went down, so I guess there's speculation that Joel's going to play. So I'll take the Sixers getting the points to cover. And I think they went out right if both guys play. And they might close as a favorite if both guys play. All right, the NHL. We'll go over last night's lone game and look ahead to tonight. And by the way, we're a couple days away from the All-Star break. We have 2 games tonight. That's it. Sens over the Preds 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Claude Giroux. Not a great defeat for Nashville, who, where things stand right now, are tied for the second wild card. Right now, tied for the second wild card. That's kind of interesting. We'll get more into the hockey standings and whatnot throughout the week. Now the All-Star break's coming. 2 more days of games before the All-Star game. NHL Network tonight. Blue Jackets Blues. Not a great game, obviously. The Blues are minus 170. The Blue Jackets plus 140 over under 6.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 170. Blues minus 1.5 is plus 140. But I didn't realize the Blues are actually in that wild card tie right now. They've been a pleasant surprise this year. I didn't even realize how good that the Blues have actually been pretty good this year. So I'm actually going to lay the puck line with them. This is a show me game. If you're for real Blues, win this game. In 10:30 of the Kraken and the Sharks. The Kraken are minus 225. The Sharks are plus 184 over under 5.5. Overs minus 128. Unders plus 104. Kraken minus 1.5 is plus 112. Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 134. The Sharks have been feisty. They beat the Rangers, but the Rangers haven't been playing well. So I'm going to go over 3.5 Kraken goals at minus 108 for my play there. Okay, now move on to soccer. We will go over the notable results and look ahead to today. So we'll start with the Asian Cup. Results from yesterday. Jordan beats Iraq 3-2. Qatar beats Palestine 2-1. And then this morning, Uzbekistan beats Thailand 2-1. Saudi Arabia and South Korea are in a 0-0 draw right now in the 47th minute before the break. So let's see if there's a live betting opportunity here. Yes. South Korea is plus 130, and so is the draw, and then Saudi Arabia is plus 350. I'm going to go with the draw at plus 130. Live bet at the half. And then we'll do tomorrow's games on tomorrow's show. All right, Africa Cup of Nations. Cape Verde beats Mauritania 1-0, and Senegal Ivory Coast was a 1-1 draw, but Ivory Coast advances 5-4 on penalties. So 12 o'clock today, you have Mali and Burkina Faso. Mali's plus 15, Burkina Faso plus 290, draw plus 170. I'm going to go with Mali at plus 115. And at 3 o'clock, you have Morocco and South Africa. That's a pretty good game. Morocco minus 100, South Africa 6-1. The draw is plus 250. I like over 2.5 goals at plus 134. We have results from yesterday for Serie A. AS Roma over Salernitana 2-1. La Liga, Getafe over Granada 2-0. Now we have a lot today to get into as well. So we're going to start with UEFA Women's because I want to go by time. So we have 12:45 today, Real Madrid and BK Häcken. Real Madrid minus 150, BK Häcken plus 320, the draws plus 310. I'm going under 2.5 goals at minus 102. Paris FC and Chelsea. Paris FC's plus 135, Chelsea's plus 160, draw plus 260. Chelsea's hot, they're plus 160, and I'm taking them. Bayern and PSG. Bayern minus 105, PSG plus 250, draw plus 240. PSG's been hot, I'm taking them plus 250. Ajax and Roma. Roma plus 105, Ajax plus 190, draw plus 290. I'm going to go with the draw here at plus 290, but I don't feel good about it whatsoever. ELC, we have 2 games today, 2:45. Bristol City and Coventry. Coventry minus 145, Bristol City plus 410, draw plus 260. I like over 2.5 goals minus 108. And then Leicester Swansea. Leicester minus 340, Swansea 7-1, the draws plus 440. I like under 2.5 goals at plus 144. We have a couple Premier League games today. 2:30 have Nottingham Forest and Arsenal. Arsenal minus 270, Nottingham plus 750, the draws 4-1. I like under 2.5 goals plus 123. Fulham Everton. Fulham plus 140, Everton plus 210, draw plus 220. I'm going to go with the draw plus 220. Luton Brighton. Brighton minus 130, Luton plus 340, draw plus 290. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at plus 125. 3 o'clock, Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. Crystal Palace minus 165, Sheffield 5-1, the draws plus 280. Over 2.5 goals minus 108. And 3:15, Aston Villa and Newcastle. Aston Villa's minus 120, Newcastle plus 290, and the draws plus 290. I like over 3.5 goals at plus 128. Then we have the DFB Pokal quarterfinals today, 2:45. We have St. Pauli and against Fortuna Düsseldorf. So trying to find that game. For some reason, that line is not posted. But we're going to go with St. Pauli. And in Liga MX, we have a couple games. 8 o'clock, we have Cruz Azul and Tijuana. Cruz Azul minus 175. Tijuana is plus 440. The draw is 3-1. I like under 2.5 goals at minus 108. Mazatlan and Leon. Leon plus 115. Mazatlan 2-1. The draw plus 250. I like the draw plus 250. 10 o'clock, Santos Puebla. Santos minus 135. Puebla plus 230. Draw plus 280. I like the draw plus 280. And 10 o'clock, Guadalajara and Toluca. Guadalajara is even money. Toluca plus 240. Draw plus 250. I like Guadalajara at even money. And then Sunday night, Querétaro and Tigres was a 1-1 draw, and that's a result we didn't get to on the Monday podcast due to times of recording. So that's a lot of soccer today. Now we'll move on to the portfolio. So I've been eyeing a lot of college basketball futures lately for the portfolio, full disclosure. I think that now is the time to get value on some of these bets in college basketball, and I think the same could be said for the NBA as well. The Ringers' Bill Simmons tossed out some good futures, but I feel like whenever Bill Simmons says something, the line or whatever he bets on goes, or whatever he gives out goes down. So Victor Wembanyama is now the favorite for Rookie of the Year at -240. If I had more balls, I would go all in on Holmgren for Rookie of the Year. But yeah, he said Jalen Williams on OKC for Most Improved Player. That was 65-1. Now it's 50-1, so that went down. Tyrese Halliburton's 110-1. Like, that's crazy. And then Tom Thibodeau's on the 34-1. He was like 95-1 for Coach of the Year. He dropped all the way to 34-1. So that's a fun future. But the OKC coach should win that. He's a +130 favorite. So I'm going to go to college basketball. Now I was looking at conference outrights. I did the Atlantic 10 last week. I think we know North Carolina's probably going to win the ACC. They're so good. The American's interesting. There's a lot of teams that are playing well in that league that can conceivably win that league. South Florida is 26-1, and they have one loss in conference play. Charlotte's 3-1. So that's the team I would keep an eye on. South Florida 26-1. We'll come back to that. Wisconsin +230 for the Big Ten, I think, has some value. The Big 12. Houston's the favorite. Kansas +850. It's kind of similar to Wisconsin in a way. UConn's going to win the Big East. It's kind of like Carolina in the ACC. They have such a big lead on everybody. I mean, you could argue Creighton 15-1 has some value. The Mountain West is interesting, though, guys. Utah State's favorite at +195. San Diego State's 2-1. New Mexico's +195. Boise's 12-1. Colorado State was playing well before it's 34-1. Same with Nevada, who's 3-4 in conference play, is 42-1. Arizona's a big favorite in the Pac-12. Like I said, it's kind of like Carolina. Like, they're probably going to win the league. But Oregon's +650. It's kind of like Wisconsin. They have value. Colorado +650 has some value as well. The WCC is an interesting league. St. Mary's is the favorite, -175. Gonzaga's +140. That obviously has some value. San Francisco is 60-1. They're one back of Gonzaga, two back of St. Mary's. Let's say St. Mary's loses to Gonzaga, and maybe they lose one other game. Maybe even to San Francisco. I'm going to pull up San Francisco right now. And then, it's Santa Clara is 16-1. They're 6-1. So that's another team that is up there. So San Francisco in conference play lost to St. Mary's already, and they lost to Gonzaga. They play St. Mary's one more time, but at St. Mary's. So San Francisco wouldn't be a good bet. And then the SEC, South Carolina is 60-1 to win that league. But they're 5-2 in the league. Tennessee is 5-1. Kentucky Kentucky has some value. They're 5-2 in the league. They're plus 850 to win that league. That's a good one. Auburn's also 5-2 and they're 3-1. Like, I don't understand that Kentucky number at all. South Carolina's 5-2. They're 60-1, but I don't think South Carolina's going to win that league. I'm staring at Kentucky at plus 850. It's kind of like Kansas in the Big 12. Like, so Kentucky is 5-2 in the league. They lost to South Carolina. They're only one back of Alabama. And Alabama's plus 250. So Kentucky lost to South Carolina and Texas A&M, both on the road. They played like crap against South Carolina, and I gave out South Carolina in that game. And then they lost in OT to A&M. I'm actually going to take a shot here with Kentucky. I'm going to lay 2/5 of a unit on the Kentucky Wildcats at plus 850 to win the SEC. Like, it's Kentucky, it's Calipari. They have, I know they have some interesting games coming up, but plus 850 is good value. So I'm going to pull the trigger with Kentucky at plus 850 to win the SEC. 2/5 of a unit. All right, now move on to the news and notes for today. We have a lot to get to in such little time. So we are going to start in the NBA. Darius Garland's supposed to come back tomorrow against the Pistons after missing 6 weeks. That's a big deal for Cleveland. Even though Cleveland played well without him and Mobley for some reason. Maybe they're Ewing theory guys for what we know. And then Evan Mobley came back yesterday against the Clippers. Ben Simmons came back against the Jazz. Yikes. And he had a double-double. Oh, my God. It looks like Tyrese Halliburton's coming back against the Celtics. So that's good. The Knicks are optimistic about Julius Randle, as they say it should be measured in weeks and not months. So that's good news for them. Rajon Rondo got arrested on misdemeanor charges on unlawful possession of firearm, drug, and marijuana. Yikes. That's not great for Rondo. And he's not even in the league right now. So, possession of firearm, drug, paraphernalia, and marijuana. So, not great. The Blue Jays to sign Justin Turner 1-year deal. Now we're just going to mix and match with news and notes. So, good value pickup for the Blue Jays. Big trade in baseball last night. Jorge Polanco traded from the Twins to the Mariners. That was a surprising trade. The Twins get some players back. So, reliever Justin Topa, Anthony DeSclafani, and then prospects Gabriel Gonzalez and Darren Bowen. So, I like that deal for Seattle. I know they've changed their roster over a ton, but Polanco's a good player, and he's going to get you hits. Still another big ballpark for him. But surprising trade, and I don't know if I think Minnesota could afford to lose him, but yeah. And they traded him and a Roz within the last year, which is surprising, but the Roz one hurts, let's be honest. I know Pablo Lopez is good, but he ain't Garrett Cole, and they lost that trade. So, Balday's out for the year. Likely, but could return for Euros after hamstring injury. We'll see about that. Dan Campbell says he gambled and lost. He admits costly timeout late in NFC Championship game was a mistake. And then Tom Brady says he would have taken the points after the Lions failed fourth down attempts. And how about this? Lions 49ers had a $56.7 million viewers. Best ratings for an NFC title game since 2012, so that's awesome. The Dodgers are eyeing Kenley Jansen and Ryan Brazier for high leverage guys for their bullpen. A reunion with Kenley Jansen would be weird. The Patriots do not plan to pick up Mac Jones' fifth-year option. That's not surprising. Chargers to hire new general manager. Ravens director of personnel Joe Horitz. So he goes from John Harbaugh to Jim Harbaugh. So that's a nice hire by the Chargers. Brittany Griner is going to have her jersey retired on February 18th ahead of Baylor's matchup against Texas Tech. That was overdue. Quinn Snyder wants to keep DeJounte Murray. I don't know if he is going to get his wish. He's going to be in high demand, and the Hawks are going to get a nice package back for him. The Angels signed Aaron Hicks as he'll earn minimum, as the Yankees are still on the hook for his deal. He wasn't terrible on the Orioles after he left after the Yankees got rid of him. He wasn't terrible on the Orioles, and maybe he won't be that terrible on the Angels. Maybe he's good to the point where he plays well and they trade him. Charles Aminu to miss the Super Bowl as he tore his ACL. That's not great for Kansas City's pass rush. The AP poll is out for college basketball. 1 through 5, UConn, Purdue, Carolina, Houston, Tennessee. 6 through 10, Wisconsin, Duke, Kansas, almost like Kentucky. Marquette, Kentucky. So Kentucky drops from 6 to 10. 11 through 15, Arizona, Iowa State, Creighton, Illinois, Texas Tech, Auburn. 17 through 20, Utah State, Baylor, New Mexico, Florida Atlantic. And then 21 through 25, Dayton, BYU, Oklahoma, Alabama, TCU. Others receiving votes: South Carolina, San Diego State, Memphis, Northwestern, Ole Miss, Texas, Colorado State, St. Mary's, Indiana State, Boise State, Gonzaga, Richmond, Virginia, McNeese, App State. So, Oklahoma drops big time. Iowa State moves up big time. Auburn drops. New Mexico moves up. Wisconsin moves up. Duke moves up. Marquette moves up. So a lot of change in the rankings. Texas Tech moved up. And dropping from the rankings was Memphis and Colorado State. So that's really it for news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple that I liked. For best bet, mine won obviously with the Magic. Kind of like the college basketball more than the NBA tonight in terms of games. But there's a short spread I really liked, and I was surprised that this particular team was only a 1.5 home favorite against their arch rival. I don't get why Mississippi State is almost favored in this game. Chris Beard's a better coach. Ole Miss is the better team. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 with Ole Miss at even money, a quarter unit. Laying 1.5 even money with Ole Miss against Mississippi State, and that will be my best bet for the day. All right, so there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and look at everything tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.